Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Cabin Fever, episode 43. Well, it's not episode 43, it's day 43. And today, I've actually done some prep. And when I say I've actually done some prep, I mean I panicked over everything crashing as it did the last couple of times I've done episodes. So I went out of my way to try to record as much as I could beforehand. So my little stream deck is ready to just press a button if everything fails. I also pulled the whole system apart, put it back together, hoping it'll work properly this time. On today's show, I wanted to, and you know what? It's nice to be not planning this out too much because we can be a bit more flexible. I found out this morning, I could be late, that Pegu Club has not only closed, but is closed. So they're not closing for the short term, planning to reopen again. They've looked at it, they've done the numbers, and they've decided that actually we're going to call it a day, that COVID has done them in. And, as much as I hate to admit it, it feels like that's one of the first legendary bars to go, but it might not be the only one. Bars run on really tight margins. I've had a lot of discussions today with people that have, realized that they weren't as well supported as they thought they were. They didn't have as good a situation as they thought, relying on tips instead of having a base wage. The government will give you 80% of your wage back for 3 months. But if your wage is really low and you're relying on tips and they're not giving you the tips, you could be living on the breadline now, which, it's an interesting thing. I plan to show some videos that Jonathan Downey has shared. I will try to do it for Monday's show if it's not too late, where he's kind of unionizing people. But you know what? I missed the boat on that. I got too distracted trying to kind of cover the Pegu Club thing by calling my man Alastair Burgess and asking him his opinion on Pegu Club, having been someone that worked there. And I just focused on the positives, right? We'll hit the other stuff Monday. Speaking of hitting stuff, got interesting stuff for you on Monday. I got some new product that just arrived, which we're going to taste on Monday, which will be super epic. Right, so moving on from all of the Gavin Ryan Thomson has also, who watches the show, and is a total legend. I didn't realize how cool his accent was until I sat and listened to him talk for a couple of minutes. Having been a brand ambassador for a Scotch whiskey brand before, I spent a lot of time in Scotland, and I love Scottish accent. It's so cool, especially when you're talking about Scotch. You just sound more legit, right? My accent talking about Scotch, I was trying to tell people about Scotch. It doesn't matter how much I know. It just doesn't sound right. It sounds way better coming from a Scottish person. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just like biased. I don't know. Anyway, Gavin dared me to drink 4 shots. He got dared to do it. So I'm going to show you him daring me so you know I'm not just getting drunk on a Friday. And I'm going to do that up front. I'm going to pour myself my 4 shots. I'm going to try to call out 4 other people. And I'm going to drink them throughout the show. Right? So that I don't get too excited because I tend to get excited when I start drinking fast. Right? So here's Gavin. Or maybe not. Have I prompted him? Ah, that's why.
Glenfiddich and Canimby, right? All in this bottle, right? Shh, I know, we're not supposed to say that. So, right, you ready? 40% ABV. There we go. Going to put it in this glass first. What do you know it as? That's right, it's the Glencairn glass. Glencairn glass. Happy birthday, Glencairn. 20 years old this year. There you go. So I'll get my wee thingamajiggy. Go and put a 2 CL in there. There we go. So there we go. That's the first one. With this one, I'm going to be nominating the first person, and that is Dean Callan from the Dean Callan Show. Great guy, used to be the global brand ambassador for Monkey Shoulder. So this one's for you, Dean, okay? Put this on your show and nominate also 4 people. Ready? So there's the first one, Slanjava. Lovely. A great drum. Good for mixing, obviously, but also good, pure, great drum. So, on to the second one. Glengoyne means quite a lot to me because it's the first ever distillery that I've ever.
All right, so I had to call him out. I have to do it, you know, I get called out. You get given a day, you got to do it. So what I'm going to do though, is I'm going to try to demonstrate some form of social responsibility and not just like get smashed. I'm going to put small measures, as he has done. I didn't show you the whole video, but he said the same thing. I'm getting, right, what else? Let me see. I am going to go this way on this. I was looking, I've just smashed a bunch of bottles in this corner because I know in behind here there's a bottle of Distiller's Edition Bowmore. I just can't find it. So these are 3. I'm going one more. What will my one more be? Let's see. All right. Here we go. So, the 4 products I've decided to do, and I'm going to do it in the same way he did before, right? And you know what? Instead of stretching it out over the whole show, I'm just going to pour them and do them, right? I think that might be how it works. The first one is the Johnny Walker Black Label Blade Runner Edition, which is, you know, and calling out 49% ABV because 2049. I'm going to just draw a little tiny drop, about 15 odd mils. For this one, I'm going to call out Ali Reynolds, Alastair Reynolds, Ali Reynolds, right? He loves a bit of Johnny Walker. Oh, delicious. Right. Wait a minute. Yeah. Right, so that's one. Next is a Hazelwood 25-year-old. This stuff is delicious. So has anyone tried Hazelwood 25-year-old? Oh, Hazelwood. Look how cool it looks. Right, Hazelwood 25-year-old. This stuff is super delicious. I love it. Super smooth as well. Oh yeah, so 25-year-old, 40% ABV. Super sexy. Oh, delicious. Right, so I'm going to drink water in between each one so I can be somewhat responsible. I think I'm quite lucky weighing over 100 kilos. You get away with... Oh, for that one, I'm calling out, and I'm sorry to do this to you, brother, because I know you've got to be a brand ambassador and stuff. Danny Dyer. The legendary Danny Dyer. The reason I'm calling him out is because I want to get him back on the show again, right? You know, just if I can get Danny Dyer on the show every day, that'd be cool. It'd be like, we'll do Danny's 10 minutes or Danny's 2 minutes. Oh, I can't give someone more time than Mitch. Well, give Mitch more time as well. So, next one is Stowning Danish Whiskey, which is the young malted rye whiskey. Delicious. I've already tasted it before. I wanted to taste it again. And for this one, I'm calling out Trolls. You knew I was going to call you out, man. You love having a dram. So, and Trolls, if you didn't know, it's the UK brand ambassador for Stowning. I'll tag him in the video, I hope, if I remember. This is the February, the distilled in 2014 one, 43.3% ABV. These guys, very interesting. They have their own design for malting floors, where they're still turning the barley, and it looks like that rather than being turned by hand, they've created this, like, if you go to a car wash, you know the way you've got those like spinning things that go along and clean the car, the kind of spinning mop almost looking things. Imagine that, but it's sideways, and instead of it being like soft bristles, it's little scoops, and they're kind of done in a corkscrew fashion. So it goes along and it just moves along the malting floors. Like, imagine that's the malting floor, moves along the malting floor, turning the malt constantly, right? But at the same time, in a traditional malting, you would wet the malt, you'd steep it for a while, you empty the steep, you take the now really kind of wet barley out and you spread it over the floor, and then you have to keep turning it to aerate it. What they do is they put it in dry, and this thing starts turning it, and at the same time sprays a mist, and it germinates at the same time as being turned. It does, super epic. Anyway, this is Don Dean. Pretty self-explanatory. It's like Don Julio, but with my name on it. Went to Don Julio, it was pretty cool. Now, who am I going to call out for this one? Who do I want to see doing a video? I love Don Julio, it's good. Who should I call out? Fuck it, I'm going to call out Mitch. Just they don't have to be big drams, just little tiny baby ones like I did. Right, so Don Dean goes back. Thank you, Don Dean. Stowning, which is astounding whiskey. It's really good. Young rye. Back to where you belong. Now, Hazelwood 25, back up here. And Johnny Walker Blade Runner Edition, back up in your spot. Thank you very much. That gets that out of the way, because I was going to spread it out, but then I thought I might forget to actually finish it, and I don't want to. I get tagged in a lot of challenges. People are like, Dean will do it. I kind of don't want to miss out on all these challenges. Now, Pegu Club. For those of you that didn't know, Audrey Saunders is a very influential figure in the bar industry and has been for a really long time. She opened Pegu Club in 2005, having worked with Dale DeGroff, who, if anyone knows, was around in circa 2000-ish. When I first started bartending, the first book I picked up, where the recipes at the time, they might be a bit sweet for today's palates in some areas, but those recipes were just bang on for the guests at the time. Every recipe, every classic in the craft of the cocktail, I'd make it to his spec. People loved it. It was way better than the recipes we had or the spec we had at the time in bars. So, having worked with Dale, she obviously, had a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge and knew what she was doing. But from what I heard about her, she was a perfectionist. I haven't actually hung out with Audrey before. She's part of that. How do you describe it? When I was first learning about the bar industry, the broader professional bar industry as we know it today, Audrey Saunders and Dale DeGroff and these guys were way up here. So if I'm even in the same room as them, I kind of freak out and panic a little bit. I'm not going to go over and introduce myself. It has to happen organically. Someone has to go, hey, Dean, there's Audrey. She's cool. Have a chat to Audrey. It'd be cool, right? But it never happened. Anyway, I did get Alastair Burgess on the phone, who worked for her, and got his insight into what it was like to work with Audrey Saunders and what it was like to work at Pegu Club and the influence it's had on him. And I learned a little bit about how much of an influence it's had on me without me really even noticing it. So here is Alastair on Pegu Club. All right.
But yes, with regards to a perfectionist, Audrey was 100% a perfectionist. It's kind of where I got certain ideas about how I wanted my bars to work. And it was shit like, you don't know how good a drink it is until you've tried it with every gin that you have, or every bourbon, every wine that you have. And you need to not have pouring contracts, so you can have the flexibility to make the best version of a drink that you can make.
Yep.
So we were constantly trying different products in one drink in different ratios and stuff all the time.
Yeah, I heard that from Don Lee was telling me that he used to sit at the bar when you guys were going through, making every classic in slightly different proportions with slightly different base product until you got it exactly what you wanted.
And that's now how I work downstairs in Happiness and at Original in here.
Yeah, nice. So if I were to make a cocktail tonight, to pay honor to Pegu Club, for being such a legendary bar, there's obviously a whole bunch of them. One of my favorite cocktails of all time is the Old Cuban, because it helped me connect with Electra when we worked at Kanaloa. All the drinks were tiki drinks and everything was rum. And one of the drinks that I made for her that she actually really liked, it wasn't on the menu, was an Old Cuban, and she fell in love with it. And then she realized that Joe Wood makes a much better Old Cuban than I do. So I started getting Joe to make the Old Cubans. I'd take them out to the door because she was the door host and give them to her, and she thought I was making them, so she fell in love with me.
Amazing.
Yep.
So, I mean, the way the menu at Pegu Club worked was that there was kind of like Audrey's section of drinks. It was about 7 or 8 drinks, and they changed kind of rarely. And it definitely had its base of like 6 or 7 that never changed. And then there was a section of about 5 or 6 drinks, which were like all the bartender stuff. That's where kind of my drinks and the other bartenders and stuff went on. Predominantly, and then there was like a small champagne selection again, which was a bit of a free for all.
Okay.
The complete mainstays on the menu, obviously the Pegu Club, but that was never her drink. She named the bar after the original Pegu Club in Rangoon, which was an old English Army officers club, and that cocktail was orange curacao, gin, lime, and that was it. And bitters.
So is there 2 types of bitters in it, or one?
It's one Angostura, a dash of Ango, and a dash
of orange. Okay.
And it's what's really interesting. Again, it's something that I've kind of adopted, kind of being in that Audrey school. There was only 2 orange bitters available at the time.
Yep.
You had Fee Brothers or you had Reagan's.
Tell me you use Reagan's.
Quite cardamom heavy. And Fee Brothers were all fucking glycerin.
Yep.
But what we used to do was actually blend the 2 together to make our house orange bitters. There's obviously now many, many more on the market, but it works perfectly in all the drinks and the recipes and stuff I'd made before. It's a really good balance for drinks and stuff now. So again, my policy on drinks and stuff that I make is...
I've got both. I'm going to do that. I might try that.
Half and half.
Happy days.
My reckoning to it was like, if it's good enough for Audrey Saunders, it's fucking good enough for you.
Yep, exactly. Well, so tonight, if I make a Pegu Club and one other drink, what would the other one be? Would it be an Old Cuban or like what do you think?
She had a definite. There were definitely kind of ones that were always there. So you had the Old Cuban, the Gin Mule, which is like a gin mojito, which I think we all know. Gin and ginger mojito, really. And then you had the French Pearl, which was just a south side with a bar spoon of absinthe.
Really?
Yeah, actually not absinthe. I tell a lie. She always used to say that absinthe didn't quite give a drink the right opacity.
Yep.
So she always used to use just straight Pernod.
Because
2 ounces, 3/4, which translates to us for like 50, 20, 20, mint, and a bar spoon of Pernod.
Wow. Because I was a massive fan of Drink Boy, right? Way back in the day. And
well, you got to understand who she's married to now, right?
I know, Robert Hess, right? But the thing is, I always thought, like, I created a drink in like 2003, which was a south side with muddled cucumber and a bar spoon of absinthe. And it's basically the same thing that Sam Ross came out with, but it sounds like Audrey beat both of us to that combination. Damn, I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, mate, it happens all the time. So, I mean, At when I worked at Milk and Honey, we had a drink on the menu called the Aviation Number One, and it was a Calvados-based drink. This isn't an aviation. It's like, well, actually, through all of our research and stuff, some bartender on the west coast of America, of the US, created a drink which is time-stamped and it was published in a book earlier than the aviation that we know.
Yep.
And they didn't have the internet, they didn't have TV and telephones and all that shit. And the airplane had just been invented and shit, so probably there are a million cocktails out
called
there
the aviation. Yep.
But with loads of different ingredients. And you get to a point in our life cycle where there's an era where people are just making the same drinks and not realising it.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Probably more common than we realise.
So do you think? What other drink do you think? We'll make a Pegu Club.
Pegu Club, the French Pearl, the old Cuban, which we talked about as well. The Gin Mule. She had a twist on a. She had a twist on a Dark and Stormy that she called a Jamaican Firefly. Which was really just like a really refined Dark and Stormy. It was super delicious. It was just lime juice, ginger juice, a bit of sugar, ginger ale, and goslings. So really just like a proper full-on gingery, complex Dark and Stormy, instead of just going down the route of using a ginger beer.
kind of like the way they made the Dark and Stormies in Milk and Honey that way when I was in Milk and Honey back in the day.
Well, again, because of that drink, it's the same way that I make a Dark and Stormy. And again, it's very much the drink that the Perfect Storm is based on.
All right. Yeah, it's so crazy. It's so crazy tracing back the heritage of what's influenced you, even if you didn't see it. Have you ever seen the movie Devil Wears Prada?
Of course, absolutely.
You know the scene where she's like, you don't think you're into fashion, but you're wearing that top because of, and then she just traces the color back. I watched that and I was like, wow, that's like our industry.
And then you've got to drink the Little Italy. Again, that kind of era of New York bartenders, everyone had a variation on a Manhattan.
Yeah.
You had Tad Solomon with the Bensonhurst, Mickey McElroy with the Greenpoint, Enzo Mourinho from, again, Milk and Honey had the Red Hook that we all know.
Yep.
There's a million of them. My tenure there, I came up with a drink which was on the happiness menu for a while called the Harry Palmer.
Harry Palmer. That sounds cool.
Rye, sweet vermouth and Suze. Again, not super creative.
What's the Harry Palmer?
Delicious. Sorry?
What's the Harry Palmer again?
Harry Palmer's just rye whiskey, sweet vermouth and Suze as the bitter agent.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's great.
I might make a Harry Palmer.
So, I mean, that was the last drink I made and created when I was at Pegu Club that went on the menu.
What was the spec for the Harry Palmer?
So, it would be 40 mils of rye.
Yeah.
20 mils of vermouth, 15 Suze, stirred down, cherry.
Easy. Okay. Well, look, I don't want to keep you too long.
All right.
But thank you so much. And there we have it. We're making a Harry Palmer. So I'm going to make a Pegu Club, obviously. I have to make a Pegu Club. But I've got... Oh, do I have sweet vermouth out here? I keep drinking all the sweet vermouth every time I... Damn. Dean. Oh, no. Sweet. Thank God there's some of this. Right. So... Harry Palmer, right? Got the Harry Palmer all set up, right? And then I'm going to go... This... If you haven't tried this, get out there and try this. This is like the most amazing orange curacao. It's got a kind of a vintage feel to it. Right, so orange curacao. Now, gin. What gin do I go with? Do I go light? Want to hold up against... This is where you need to have done your research a little bit. Also, turn these guys on. Right, so, any suggestions? Harry Palmer sounds awesome, right? I'm totally doing a Harry Palmer. Right, and I love Suze, so it works. Now, gin. You know what I might do? I might go Portobello Road. Fuck it, I'm going to go Portobello Road. Portobello Road. I've already squeezed some lime juice to save us some time. I ran out to the garden and got some mint because the way Audrey garnished it was like spiky thing, toothpick, through a lime wedge and with a piece of mint stabbed into it. So, to try to keep it as accurate as I can, I'm going to prep my little lime wedge. All right, put that down. Having a barbecue with the wifey this evening. And I get to use my swords. So, check this out. Right, I've probably shown this on the show already. On guard. Got my little sword. Oh, guess what else arrived today? I feel so privileged to have this. This is like, I feel like I arrived somewhere, right? I obviously I know Daniel and Eddie really well, and I know Daniel's moved on, but they sent me this, right? I hope it fits. And look, so you got the logo for Cocktails for You, and then on the side, the Dean Callan Show. How good is that? So good, right? I'm so pumped. Okay, this is going to be fun. Right, now, shaker. Fresh lime. As far as I know, I should have looked it up, or I should have at least got a jigger. Audrey, the spec on this, no, fucking jigger. The spec on this was 2 ounces of gin with 3/4 ounce. Yep, that'll do it. Or will it? Damn it. Ah, here we go. Mother flippin' trigger jigger. Right, so I'm going to start with the lime. 3/4 ounce of lime. Right. 3/4 ounce of orange Curacao. I'm going to get my arse handed to me if I'm wrong about this spec. God. It's been so long. I definitely should have looked it up. It was like an afterthought. And 2 ounces of gin. Right. We got those. All right. Now, a dash. I'm going to do extra bitters, right? So 1 dash of Fee Brothers orange, the 1 dash of Regan's orange bitters, and then because I'm doubling both 1, 2 of Angostura. If I can find my little cap. Right, and now I'm going to take my shaking ice of all different shapes and sizes, but having been frozen by the lovely people at Ice Studio London. Right, we've got all sorts of big sizes, little sizes. Am I missing something? I'm so worried I've like forgotten the actual spec. This is how old I'm getting. I'm forgetting everything. All right. Now, with a little bit of luck, I'm going to double strain this because I just want it to be super clean, and I shake so hard that you end up getting lots of little tiny shards of ice. I know if they probably didn't double strain at Pegu Club, but I was never that good, you know? I tried to talk shit a lot. I can talk. I realized that that's my number one skill in life, just being able to just talk shit, which is why I kind of think it's a good idea to do this show. I can just talk shit, right? And at some point, I'll be able to do so with an actual guest on the show. So there's my little sword. Boom. Oh, and that's Pegu Club. As far as I know. But, you know, I've made worse mistakes on the show. I put gin in something twice one time, remember? Oh, boom. That's tasty. Don't need the garnish. Garnish has already died. Amazing. Right, so. Some music. Now, I'm going to make the second drink after I finish this one. We're going to move on to Mitch's Minute. I'm loving hanging out with Mitch. Well, it feels like I'm hanging out with Mitch. I see Mitch like every couple of days, right? But we're not actually in the same place. Can't wait until it's all done and we can hang out. I might go somewhere. I want to go to Oaxaca. Eat some cheese, drink some mezcal.
There you go, less haggard. Alright, what have we got? One thing you'd like to see go away in bartending. Alright, the trend I'd like to see go away is people take themselves less seriously, but that's too long a thing to talk about. So I'm going to stall and think fucking coupes or big martini glass style drinks, like big stem drinks with fucking ice cubes in them, with giant ice cubes. Whose fucking idea was that? Like, just what I fucking need, a giant iceberg rolling around my glass when I've been drinking, and and my teeth are cold. Like, what? I don't understand. Are they a lack of faith in your dilution? Are they to make nice photos? Or did you order the wrong glasses? I don't understand them. So yeah, I'd like to see them go away. I'd also like to see... Yeah, that'd be the thing I'd like to see. Fucking bruleeing the tops of drinks as well. That's fucking dumb. Don't do that. Anyway.
All right. That was Mitch's Minute. I'm not going to lie. I am of the... I don't know, generation of bartenders that believe, having even double strain that believe that like a coupe is meant to be like an up drink is just neat. Now, saying that, like that's a big drink, right? So the glass, like look at the amount of window I've got in there. Like rather than try to fill that, I would just make drinks in that maybe have a huge amount of foam or something else, like they're lighter in alcohol strength. And then if I was to make an actual really stiff drink, it would be in a smaller glass with plenty of space at the top so that your nose is over it, you can smell it, and you can consume it while it's still laughing at you and or cold. I never understood having giant glasses with giant rocks of ice in them. I never got it. I respect bartenders that do it, and they're better at bartending than me, so I kind of have to stand back and be like, all right, well, you know, I'm not going to bitch about it, but I never understood it's not my style. I just, like I've probably said on the show a million times, if you can't handle a big stiff drink, then make it a really small stiff drink. Make it an appropriate size for your consumption, right? Now, moving on from that, I wanted to also feature Tim. Tim, my man, every Friday puts out a drink. This time, unfortunately, I'm not going to try to make the drink next to him because I already had 5 drinks, and this is a half-hour show. It might be a little longer today, but I want to play Tim's video. I want to support Tim as much as I can. So Tim, legend, making, and I'm gonna prep this. He's making, I have no idea. He's speaking French all the time. Wait.
Pour la 7e semaine de confinement. Donc on va faire le Rusty Neck Revisited avec
I love it. Like,
4 centilitres de Monkey Shoulder.
if you don't know Tim, Tim is the kind of person that walks into the room and makes it a better place to be. He's so positive. He's so lovely. So it's monkey and cherry hearing.
Ingrédients dans la blood and sand. On utilise 2 centilitres là.
Alright, so he said blood and sand. Is he going to put orange?
Ça va bien charger. 24 degrés d'alcool, un peu plus moins fort que les autres liqueurs que j'avais utilisées. On va voir ce que ça va donner. À côté cerise avec le monkey shoulder, ça marche bien. On sait que ça marche bien. Peut-être une petite dose de chocolat après. On verra.
I can't understand a thing he says, so I just like look, think about the happy times I've had with Tim, smile. Like it's like having him here. Tim, what a fucking legend. So Tim is such a legend, right? Like it's hard to describe how much of a legend Tim actually is. I'll give you a very short story. One time, all the brand ambassadors for Monkey Shoulder, everyone from Mitch Ono Bushell, this is a long time ago, to Zach, flew from all over the world, and Grant Neve, everyone, flew from all over the world and went to Germany. When we got to Germany, we went to like a little kind of hotel, and it was this fancy boutique hotel, and we're all there. Tim turns up wearing like a fisherman's vest. And on the fisherman's vest, he had like knives and like ice picks and everything that you would need. But it kind of looked like, you know, he had weapons strapped to his chest. I'm not going to lie. And he has this like cooler box, and he's just come in all the way from France. And he arrives in Germany from France. And he's got this box, and it looks so suspect, like so insanely suspect. He's traveled from one country to the next on a train. He didn't fly. He doesn't like to fly. Never flies. So we flew once and then decided never to fly again. Right? So he gets on the train. He's over there. And we're like, what's in the box, man? And all the brand ambassadors have, you know, we're all friends. So we all went to one hotel room. We're all sitting there getting caught up before we have to do important stuff. And Tim pulls out of the box a bunch of little tiny Kronenbergs beers, freezing cold, pops them all open, and he's like, I thought you might want a beer, you know? So he has carried beer from France, knowing that when he first runs into us, we're gonna need a beer. And then more importantly than that, he's got like, I can't remember what it was, but it was like a twist on a Boulevardier or a Manhattan, it pre-bottled in his bag, and then he's got ice that he froze himself, big chunks of ice that he pre-froze himself in France and brought into Germany because he was like, oh, I can't trust the ice here. And then he made us like a Rob Roy variation. Tim, honestly, just the thought of the time that we spent together makes me happy. So I'll thank you for that. I'll remember it for life. That was such an epic moment. Right, so moving on. Harry Palmer, right? What's going on with the music? Let's have a try at a Harry Palmer. Now, I'm just realizing I probably should have written down the spec. And I should get myself a frickin' jigger. How do I not have a jigger? I got a bar full of everything under the sun. I got so much equipment, and then I don't have a jigger. Right. I'm going to guesstimate 15 mils, because this one doesn't measure to 15 mil. Right. I believe it was 20. 40, 30, 15. Right. Thank you, Des. I'm loving this live stream stuff. I wish we were all able to hang out. All right. So I've got 40 there. Let's imagine that was 30. Right. Actually, might put that straight back in the fridge. Right. So now, doing the math, 50. 40 would be all right. Right, that was it. Over the ice. This sounds fucking epic. Let's see. Which glass? Given I have absolutely no idea of the end volume with dilution on this, I'm kind of stuck as to which glass to put it in. I'm a little bit afraid I'm going to get a really bad wash line on this. Right. And that's almost that. Yeah. So, next week, that's fucking tasty. Next week on the show, I'm going to try to aim for a drink a day, focus on that drink, but I know I said I would message everyone the last episode that I did, but if there's anyone that seriously is interested in me posting out the little samples to them, I think it might be easier to restrict it to the UK for now. Maybe I'll find out how I can post it, maybe UK and LA, so that we can all have a drink with Mitch and Gabby, if Gabby's involved. Yeah. Did he say, what did he say as a garnish? I think it was a cherry. Do we have cherries? Oh, damn it. Doesn't look like there are cherries. Nay, cherry. So, in lieu of a cherry, I'm going to do what I always do and orange twist that shit. Sorry, Alastair. I will try it with cherries next time. Alright. Happy days. The Harry Palmer. Happy days. Honestly, this is fucking delicious. The earthiness is the Suze. Wow. How do I not know about this? What a great way to have a Friday. So, this episode, obviously, I mean, I did my best to pay tribute to a great bar, a bar that has influenced us and will influence us for a long time to come. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Hope this has been a nice distraction. This has been Dean Callan on the Dean Callan Show, doing Cabin Fever. And now it's time for me to go and light a barbecue, because I am having a barbecue with my fam. Cheers. Have a nice weekend.